Hey y'all, so this is exclusively Bobby, MD edition.
Fantasizing, got him fiending for this. He want my number, had to hit him with the hit him with the hit him with the
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Bobby, and on today's episode of Men Uncut, we're going to be talking about study habits and technique. Today I have the pleasure of introducing one of my colleagues, and I'm going to allow her to introduce herself.
My name is Taylor Dixon. I'm a first-year med student from Richmond, Virginia.
So we're just going to go ahead and answer the first question. Rate your study habits on a scale of 1 to 10.
I would say my study habits are consistently an 8, before an exam a 10 for sure.
I love that. How long do you study on average every day?
It definitely varies, but mid-end to like low-end 8 hours, typically 15 to 16 hours.
A day?
A day. I do the most. I do.
Oh my God. Do you ever feel guilty when you're not studying?
Absolutely. I take one day off, and it's not even a day off because all I'm doing is thinking about how I should be studying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I won't study, but I'll be very preoccupied with the fact that I should be.
Do you feel like your exam grades define you?
I think it's hard not to let your exam grades define you, especially through your first 2 years practicing or learning basic sciences, because that's really all we have at this point. I think it'll change once we get into clinicals, and I'll be able to, feel a little bit more well-rounded. But right now, I do feel like my exam grades define me.
Do you ever get overwhelmed by the number of resources given to you in med school?
Absolutely. I mean, there are resources coming at you from every direction, and most of the time you're just trying to figure out which ones are beneficial to you and not overwhelm yourself with too many at a time.
How do you know that a resource is beneficial to you?
For me, the more comprehensive in the background that it is, the more beneficial that it is. So I need a explanation into the topic, and then I will switch from that into something like first aid, where it's more superficial and maybe giving you like mnemonics and things to help you really solidify for the exam.
First aid is crucial.
Yes.
How do you manage the workload of medical school?
I think coming from my background, I'm used to multitasking, used to working a full-time job while going to grad school full-time, and then doing my post-bac full-time while having a full career. So I think that it's not too bad for me.
Have you ever been behind in class? If so, how do you catch up?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the key is always to at least stay on the day that you're working on, but it's inevitable. I think, eventually you're going to fall behind. And honestly, what I do is probably not what I suggest one would do, which is to power through entire days on the weekend. So I start from the day that I'm on, get caught up on that day, and then immediately go back to where I was behind and start from there.
How would you describe your note-taking and your study habits?
I would describe my note-taking as probably extensive to a fault. My notes are substantially longer than like the 1 to 2 pages I think that most people have, but for me, note-taking is solidifying the information. So I do extensive comprehensive notes, and then right before an exam I'm able to condense it all down to like 2 or 3 pages, which is usually pretty helpful for me.
What is one piece of advice you have for pre-med students or anyone thinking about becoming a doctor?
Oh, stay focused on the goal. For me, deciding to change careers and go into medicine was a rough one. I did a post-bac to get all of my prerequisites for med school all in one shot, so in 2 years. So I definitely know that it's hard, but the more focused you are on the end goal and getting where you want to go, the better off you'll be. So on those days where it's really hard and you're struggling in organic chemistry and you're like, what is the point of this? It's a means to an end, honestly. Another day not needing organic chemistry, really.
Literally.
But it's a means to an end.
Literally, just power through.
Yes.
Just get here at this point. Okay guys, so that was the last question. I hope you guys really enjoyed this segment, and if you guys have any questions or comments, just drop them below and I'll try my best to answer them. For now, bye!
with the